welcome. Everyone to this 2K Sports broadcast of the Pacers live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Welcome to what should be a great Saturday night for the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan along courtside with Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge on our sideline. Take a look at the Kings.
And always difficult to play games on back-to-back nights like they have to, but it's that much harder to do it coming off of a loss in that first one. So there's some extra added pressure to not lose 2 in a row in such a short period. And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Yeah, it's funny how you see so many picks, but this one sets up the defense well. No one rotates over. Bang.
Clock at 4. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down. And last season, a bit of a breakout one for Mirotic. Saw a huge jump in his production and shot a career best from the floor. Across the board, he was a completely changed player despite what was a turbulent season.
Now here's Simmons. Steven Adams unable to get his last shot to go. Ben Simmons gets the bucket.
I tell you what, you better watch out, fellas. He is on fire here today.
Now here's Westbrook. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Kings moving the ball around. Sacramento needs to get off a shot. Count it. Mirotic has got 5 now. And with Mirotic, Greg, as you alluded, his year last year, he had a lot of ups and downs.
You know, he missed a good stretch of the season with that broken jaw from the fight he had with a teammate. And then the trade demands to get out of Chicago shortly after coming back. And despite all this, his defense and rebounding were dramatically improved and really a key contributor on offense.
And now here comes Simmons leading the break. And Simmons slams it in.
And the wherewithal by Simmons, sensing the hit coming and adjusting his shot accordingly.
Westbrook drives in. Pass to Sabonis. Fires from 14. And it's denied. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. 6 to shoot. Here's Westbrook. Ben Simmons with the rebound.
It looked like he wanted no part of that. Superb defense there, really making it tough on him.
And Simmons slams it in.
And the vertical of Simmons, an extraordinary dunker when given the chance to shine.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Sabonis with the bucket.
That's a talented guy getting too easy a look. Might have been a miscommunication on that one.
Well, just the first quarter, everyone's still getting adjusted. That said, on defense, you have to bring help sooner.
And Adams with the slam. We've heard Coach Steve Kerr say the power forward position, as we knew it, is disappearing. You could say that maybe about the center position, too.
I don't want to say that about the center position. What I want to tell you, Kevin, in my humble opinion, is that the center position has changed.
It's evolved.
So, yeah, I don't want to say that it's just disappeared, because there are players out there that are playing that position and doing a lot of the things that you would qualify as center-centric, screening, going down to the block, rim running to the post, being an option down low. But it's definitely changed.
But now we're seeing him go out and defend smaller guys in the perimeter, taking threes, and that's what's weird for your eyes to just kind of absorb what's going on.
Well, it's weird to absorb not only that and what those players individually are asked to do, but when you're at a game and you're sitting in the stands and all of a sudden you see 5 guys that are outside the three-point line. I mean, go back to a game in the 80s. It's the exact opposite. It was like, you know, a bunch of ants on top of a lost candy bar sitting in the lane, gnawing at one another.
Right.
It's just changed. So the center position, not disappeared, just changed.
And the Kings making a change here. Puts it up off the inbound. And Simmons with the nice bucket inside. Simmons got 12 in the game. Here's Lynn. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
And Lynn is just fearless, always looking to get as close to the bucket as he can.
Simmons trying to get open. And it's Okafor missing.
Well, from our angle, that looked like that was going in. But defense, fantastic how they contested it.
And for Lynn, missing the season last year, he's just glad to be back. His playmaking and creativity is something that this team needs. As long as he's healthy and playing aggressively, he'll be an effective guard option.
And with Lynn, he made a point upon returning from injury, saying he will not change how he plays.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, they'll shy away from contact after experiencing a torn patella like Lynn did, but he knows that he is at his best going at defenders and absorbing that contact. He said he'll try and be more aware of how he lands, but has no plans of changing his game.
And what a finish from Fareed, using his athleticism there to leap up as soon as he sees the ball lobbed in his direction.
And Okafor slams it in.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up. That's tipped. Pass to Kaminsky. Back to Okafor. Launches it. And the basket by Kaminsky. Kaminsky's got his first 3 points of the game.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
The Pacers making a change here.
Guard it.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
The Kings trail by 7. 7-second difference. Shot and game clock. Oh, Fareed in position. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
And really, Lynn has a terrific feel for this offense. Just seems to know whenever one of his guys is open.
Here's Okafor. And the layup's good off the glass. Okafor's got 6.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And here are the Pacers now. And so it's the Indiana Pacers bringing the quarter to... And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And let's quickly break down the game, guys, we have seen from Indiana. What do you think?
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Such a great way to get yourself into an offensive groove and build up some early confidence.
And really one of the best assets of Sabonis is his mind for the game. Very aware on the offensive end, knows how to create chances, and just plays the game with his mind as much as his athleticism.
Here's Okafor. Rebound by the Kings.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
5 on the clock. Over to the left wing. Mirotic has a wide open look. Good. Nice assist from Westbrook. 8 points for Nikola Mirotic. And for Sabonis, we all know his father was one of the best when it came to seeing the floor, Greg. As a big man, his passing game was terrific.
And skills like that go a long way in the NBA. Sabonis does all the little things that free up shots for himself and his teammates. Is starting to play with more aggression, and this is a guy that can be an all-star.
And it's Wade with the ball for Indiana. It's a 5-point game. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat.
Nice concentration from Mirotic. Outstanding, keeping his composure even when he gets knocked around a little bit.
Russell Westbrook, passionate about the game of basketball, Brent, we know that, but fashion among his foremost interests outside the game.
Yeah, the honor the gift fashion line, which, you know, Kevin, you and I don't think we have much in our closets from that, but got to respect it. Fearless, not only on the court, but off the court in some of the attire that Russell Westbrook brings to the game.
Sabonis. That shot misses. And Indiana will go the other way with it. Down low. And Okafor with the block. And the call will be against Sabonis. That's foul number 2 for him. Indiana leading by 6. Here's Okafor. And then Okafor slams it in.
Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
He rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. And slam dunk by Sabonis.
I don't think the timing could have been any better, as Russell Westbrook does a great job of taking advantage of the defense.
Here's Monroe. Out left to the wing. And it's blocked by Simmons. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Simmons. To the inside. Monroe, no good. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, the Pacers have been a huge surprise since they traded away Paul George. Now, Coach Nate McMillan said, for us, it's about developing that culture and that identity, and we're still doing that. I think we're only starting to scratch the surface. Kevin?
No doubt, David. They've got some promising young players on that team. Thank you. They grabbed their own miss. Pass to Arcidiacono. 5 on the clock. It's Olynyk atop the key. No good that time. Simmons with the defensive effort. Out of bounds. Sacramento will take possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
The Kings trail by 8.
Well, the Kings entering their second full campaign here without DeMarcus Cousins. Did they get equal value in that trade that they made? Probably not, but they have the flexibility, and they've added to this roster with some young talent, and see if they can make some combinations here work to escape the mediocrity that they're in.
And Simmons slams it in.
No answer for Simmons, a tenacious scorer who finishes with muscle through contact.
Here's Arcidiacono. He's still scoreless so far in this one. And the Kings talked about a culture change as they parted ways with Cousins. Brent, do you see it that way?
Well, DeMarcus Cousins was learning and growing. And the interesting thing you go back to is his relationship with Denver Nuggets coach now, Mike Malone. It seemed like they were on a good path, and then a lot of other things happened around this basketball team. So just trying to clear the air, trying to make things fresh and new. They have the new arena. I think that's helping them along. But now it's incumbent on the front office to deliver with this clean slate they have in front of them.
Talk about what it means to be a good teammate, Brent. You've played with good ones. You've played with bad ones. I've always thought you were team first when you play.
Well, I appreciate that, Kevin. There's just an idea about what it is that you can contribute to the team. I think you always have to accentuate those ideals. Your approach on a daily basis has to be consistent. And if you're a starting player, it's one mentality. And if you're somebody that plays off the bench, you have to come to practice every day to push the guy that's in front of you and wait for your opportunity. But most of the time, it's that kind of consistency with which you come to work and the attitude of making sure that I want to make any kind of contribution I can for our team's success. That usually is a pretty good formula for a good teammate.
Then from long range.
And don't forget about the long reach that Simmons possesses. He uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with blocks like that.
It's not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game.
Yeah, he can surprise you around the rim. Olenek has some lift.
Inside. Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Beautiful reverse jam right there.
Use the rim to protect the ball, I think. Pass to Olenek. Back to Lynn. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Lynn's got 5 points in the quarter.
Just wonderful form on the J from Lynn, dropping it in the face of the D. And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
And Ben Simmons, who missed the first season in the NBA with an injury. Boy, Greg, was he worth the wait.
And you knew he'd be a special kind of player after being taken first overall. But he is so unique in how great of a player he is. His ability to command attention on offense without having a great outside shot really is something you just don't see in today's NBA.
So an entirely new group in now for Indiana.
Yeah, a nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
And now Stevenson running the floor all by himself.
And you got to like what they're doing offensively, executing at a high rate and starting to pile it on.
Yeah, we're sitting here midway through the game now, and we're starting to see them take more and more control. They look very confident in what they're doing.
1 second left. And the layup by Jackson. Jackson's got his first bucket of the night.
Terrific basketball from Wade there to thread the pass to the wide open man for the clean look.
And so it's Ben Simmons making highlights for Indiana. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points. He dictated the pace of the entire quarter. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. time with the second half upon us. We'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Sacramento with the ball. They trail by 16. When this game is done, they'll be off to Chicago as they take on the Bulls. That's game 4 of 4 out on the road for them.
Look, I know some guys are going to dunk, but when it's Westbrook, man, he fires up his teammates.
And here we go with Westbrook running it up the court. Out of bounds, Kings ball as Sacramento keeps possession. Here's Westbrook. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's Sabonis. Back to Westbrook. Here's Hernan Gomez.
They got to hope to turn it on soon. 1 of 4 so far, and they know they got to be better. They're 1 of 5 to begin this half, guys, and they have to address this problem quickly or this could get out of hand.
Pacers leading by 14. Pass to Okafor. And then Okafor slams it in.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
It seems like they've been at it on both ends tonight. Tremendous all-around play from them. Has them up quite a bit here.
Here's Wade. The Kings getting the bucket. To the inside. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touched by Sabonis. 90 seconds now into the second half. And stolen by Mirotic. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kyle Lowry is a player who has worked his way to stardom. He says, I still feel like I can be better. I'm never satisfied. My team is good, but I think the best I can be is a champion. There is no other goal in basketball. Guys.
D.A., that's how you truly create a legacy.
At the line for your Pacers.
Pacers have had 7 opportunities at the free throw line and made good on 5 of them.
Wow, what, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Maybe. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. 14 points for Nikola Mirotic. Dave Yeager in his 3rd season with the Kings. Before that, 9 seasons, Brent, in Memphis, with 3 of those being the Grizzlies head coach.
Yeah, an interesting end to his time in Memphis as things just kind of went awry between him and management. But the personnel decisions is what it came down to. And he has a fresh start in Sacramento with a very young, very energetic team that needs some direction. Maybe Dave Yeager, the guy to get the job done.
And here is Simmons following the 3 from Nikola Mirotic. Back to Simmons. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Simmons got 30 points.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Outside Mirotic. No good on the 3.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's Simmons penetrating. And Adams with the slam.
Sometimes you raise your eyebrows at the things Steven Adams does athletically at his size. Almost impossible to stop him once he's at the rim.
The shot by Arcidiacono, no good.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass. And a contested 3 is not your objective. One more, maybe. Yeah, the body language right now is not looking good for this basketball team. The game might be out of reach, but they have to avoid mistakes like that.
Here's Simmons. Here's Adams. Pass to Ross. To the wing right side. Just 5 on the clock. And Adams with the slam.
Well, you have to put at least one body on Adams, maybe two. With his size and relentlessness, he'll light you up on the offensive glass.
Ross with the steal. And here we go with Adams running it up the court.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
The Kings have put up good numbers at the charity stripe, converting 6 of 7. Players are talking about the new sports science. Better sleep, recovery after lifting, playing, traveling, whatever it is. They say it's making a difference. What do you think?
I think it only makes a difference if the guys put it into practice, Kevin. Like, as much information as they can hand out in a team meeting and sort of give you directives about how it is you should rest and when it is you can get your sleep, players won't see those benefits unless they're as disciplined as they are with trying to get better in the offseason as they are with making sure that they get proper rest to be at their athletic best for competition.
Here's Arcidiacono. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Fareed.
Well, Adams quick off his feet there with that size and length. Tough to shoot over.
Out of bounds, Sacramento takes possession.
Yeah, just not good court awareness there. You cannot afford to be careless. That just leads to bad turnovers.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
They get it back. Fareed. A shot by Burks. Nobody around. And once again off the mark by Sacramento.
And they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
And the Kings making a change here. Here's Adams. And Adams with the slam.
And not a lot of range on Steven Adams' offensive game, so he understands those limitations and gets to the rack.
And it goes down 2 points.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
To the middle. Here's Fareed. And stolen by Simmons. And Lowry gets it to go.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Lynn looking it over. Good if it goes. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. It's the Pacers running away. And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. And it's Wade with the ball for the Pacers. And it's Williams finishing it off.
Well, he's like a fumbling banker right now, dropping dimes with ease. I like how well he led his teammate on that possession.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
Pass to Okafor. Adam Silver has said there's probably more basketball being watched and played, Brent, in China than anywhere else in the world. How long before you think we see our next Chinese superstar in this league?
That's going to be interesting when that does happen. Obviously, the type of mark that Yao Ming made in the NBA, it's going to be hard for anybody to match the kind of impact, not just in the game, but what he did globally for the NBA. It just won't happen again. But I'm looking forward to, heck, not just the next Chinese player, but a Japanese player, somebody from India where they love the NBA game, to start to find their way onto rosters in the league.
They're coming. I mean, there's going to be someone before long.
No doubt.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
At the line.
Both free throws good from Okafor. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Pass to Sabonis. Offline with his three.
He seems to be forcing just a little bit out there. He needs to play a little calmer, a little smarter, with a little bit more poise if they're going to win this one.
Okafor inside. To the inside. Just 2 to shoot. A second chance effort. And it's good on the layup. Okafor's got 6 points in the quarter.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Sabonis grabs the board. So it's Sacramento now. Pass to Hernangomez. From outside, off the mark.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass, and a contested three is not your objective. One more, maybe.
On the wing, Booker. Back to Westbrook. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. Mirotic gets the bucket.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you think his team would have the lead.
Got a piece of it. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here.
Better to be lucky than good. That pass was just deflected and not stolen. Dodged a bullet there.
Lets it go from 11. And the jumper is on the mark. 26 points for Jahlil Okafor.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Back to Westbrook. To the paint. It's stolen by Kaminsky. Okafor, high post. And Okafor slams it in.
And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
And then there's the other team. Can't say that about them. Big gap in the recent field goal percentage between these two squads.
Here's Simmons. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Here's Okafor. Yep, it counts. Okafor's got 15 points here in the second half.
And nicely done, running the floor well, then attacking the rim.
The exclamation point in transition with the high percentage finish.
And Russell Westbrook, he is a standard bearer for the Jordan brand with his own signature shoe, Greg. Few players have ever been as competitive as Michael Jordan, but you think Westbrook may be in that conversation.
No doubt about it. The similarities don't end there. The surreal athleticism, the will to dominate, and that fight, finding grudges to motivate them to their highest level. I think there's a kinship in how MJ and Russ approach the game.
It's deflected.
Sabonis has to use good timing in order to block shots. That time he did.
Well, the first thought from the D there was to protect the rim, so good idea to take the three in transition.
And the shot goes down. 36 points for Ben Simmons.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
Yeah, shooting at a very high percentage right now. This one extending the lead.
And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Pacers.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Ben Simmons.
you can do a lot to change a game other than scoring, and it was his quick hands on the defensive end that put them in the driver's seat.
Adams' shot is good.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Simmons with it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's the lob to Adams. Lays it in off a pretty alley-oop.
And saving their best for last. Tremendous run here to seal the win.
And you could just see everything coming together like a perfect storm, and they just rolled on through.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance.